staying relevant, and in it over 10 years, how to stay in the game, man, and do it independently. I'm one of the guys that made it in the game that, I never to any companies or had any management. Everything I done was kind of on my own merit. So, that's me teaching the guys that want to do it like me. That's what the manual's for. Yeah.
All right, so tell me the top 3 things that someone could do to be successful in the music industry independently.
The top 3 things I would say is really hustling. It's real hard work. So it's working day in, day out. That's really one of the main things. Another thing is
hold on. I just kind of want to expand on this because a lot of people are going to be watching this, taking notes right now. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because there's literally millions of people who are trying to get where you are right now. So when you say you got to really hustle and do hard work, realistically speaking, how many years of hard work before you're actually going to see something?
It's hard to say, man. It's like the music business, the way it is now, you really can't put a time frame on it. I know I started making beats maybe in '99, but I was doing it more so for fun. And I had my first big record in 2004. So,
right.
That was a couple of years, but, you can make it before then.
Okay. But in your case, it took 5 years.
Yeah, it took about 5 years to really just.
Okay. Right. So, just to dispel the myth that, if you hustle for 6 months.
About 5 years of just going hard, getting up, making beats every day, going out to different clubs where the artists and people going to be at, pulling up at different studios, dropping off beats, building relationships with different artists. Yeah.
5 years.
About 5 years of that, you should be making some noise.
I think that's pretty much what I've seen too. I would agree with that from my point of view.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2.
I would say being your own individual. I think we're living in a time where, everybody else want to either be somebody else or mimic somebody else or do what somebody else is doing in the way they, or try to sound like somebody else that you can get, kind of get swept under the rug doing that. I think individuality is a big part of being successful in the music game now.
What do you think in your particular case? Give me an example of you being successful because you're individual, because you followed an individual path.
I would say, let's say Gucci Mane for example. He was a guy that I basically started my career with, and the type of music that I was giving him and the way that he was rapping on it, there was probably nobody around that liked any of it. Everybody like, that ain't it, that's whack. Gucci can't rap. Your beats, they sound like you got too much piano in it, man. We don't know if we should be singing on it or what. I put a lot of organs and pianos and stuff in my music, and it came from me being in church all the time. But I use that to, be unique, like make my, be an individual. Like for me to stand out, I said, well, I played the organ at church. Let me use the stuff I do at church and put it on top of the drums that I'm making. So I think that was, me being creative and me being unique to make me stand out. And those are the things that we don't have a lot of people doing now, because now you hear everybody else beats and they doing, the organ thing or the piano thing, like, the way I use it. So I know for me, that's what helped me. That would help me be successful.
What's up? It's J-Rax. I pulled up this interview with Zaytoven because he's one of my favorite producers, and he basically did exactly what I want to do with my career. I want to be a really big artist, but I'm starting to think I just want to be independent, because there's some artists that have huge fan bases that are still independent. The last thing I want is to be binded to some contract that I can't get out of, and then I don't own my music, and then I'm basically just some puppet to these labels. That's the last thing I want. But what I wanted to talk about from this interview specifically is when DJ Vlad asked Zaytoven how long it took him until he made it. Zaytoven didn't get his first big song until 2004, after 5 years of producing. He said he made beats every single day. Every single day for 5 years making beats, and then he finally got something to go right. Seems crazy because I know a lot of people in this music industry that just want the money right now, and that's the only thing they see. The first rap group I started off with, everybody quit within the first 2 months. Literally, there's not another person from that rap group that still makes music. After the first 2 months, because we didn't see anything. 2 months, 60 days. I had like 5 friends quit music on me because they weren't seeing any big spotlight on their names. And I was like, you guys are idiots. There's people out here that work for like 10 years and then finally see something. First of all, music should be a long-term goal for you. If you love music and you love making music, this is something that you want to do for your whole life. So what is 5 to 10 years gonna do? Like, what is so bad about 5 to 10 years? If you really want to make music work for you, then working as hard as you can for 5 to 10 years shouldn't be a problem. If you really want music to be your career, then you're gonna want to work your whole life, or for the majority of your whole life, because music is what you love. I know for sure, however my life lines out, I am going to make music my whole life. The only time that I'll be done making music is when I'm long gone off of this earth. You guys got to put in the work. You guys have to want this. You have to be hungry for success. That means every single day you have to work towards your goal. Now I understand there's days where you feel like shit and there's days where you feel like you don't want to do anything. You still have to do something towards your music career. Let's say there's a day where you feel like shit and you don't feel like doing anything towards your music career. There's somebody else on that planet that wants it more than you, who's going to put in 110% of the effort just to take your spot. Let's say you had the worst day ever and you do not want to touch music at all. That's fine. We all have days like that. But if that's starting to be 3 days in a row where you're not working, that's a problem. If it's 2 days in a row where you're not working, that's a problem. If you're an independent artist and you don't have a big name behind you yet, you need to be working your ass off every single day, or else you're going to get nowhere. It's like if you put in 50% of the work, you're only going to get 50% of the outcome. Let's say you work 50% out of your 100% and you do get a viral song. After that viral song hits, you're still going to have that 50% mentality. And how much further can you get after that? If you just train yourself right now to put in 110% all the time, then even when you're a big artist, you're going to still have that drive. And that's going to even drive you to be an even bigger artist. But if you're expecting it to come fast or you're expecting handouts, I don't have that much faith in you anymore. There are so many people that I follow on Instagram, people from my area. All I see them doing is partying with friends or smoking on some corner somewhere or hanging out, doing whatever they want to do. And I just sit there and I'm like, all you guys do is talk about how you want to be the biggest rapper ever. And then every time I see you, you're not doing anything. I don't get it. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. I feel like as an artist, I'm known for how hard I work. Everybody that's around me, they know how hard I work. I literally don't talk to my friends because I'm working. People will call me, and if I don't answer, then they know I'm working. And I probably won't answer for a day because I'm that busy working. I want your work ethic to surround your whole life. I want music to be your life. I want you to eat, sleep, and breathe music. That is the only way that I think we can get success as independent artists. If everything just stays in your head and you don't put the work in and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna work this day, or I'm gonna push it off and I'm gonna do it then your whole career is going to get pushed off and you're not going to succeed the way you want to, or it's going to take you a very long time. If you're a young person right now, I'm 21 years old. If you're a young person, I suggest you just work your ass off. There's going to be time for you to have fun in the future. It might seem terrible to just sit in your studio the whole time and just make music, or be away from your friends and your family and just focus on your goals. It might be hard. It is going to be hard. But I'm telling you, you're going to thank yourself in the future. Because those same nights where I decided to stay home, I made some of my best pieces of work. I know exactly what you guys are going through. You're mad because people aren't listening to you. You're not getting the views that you want. There's days where I hate my life. There's days where I hate everything and I just want to quit. But the only thing that keeps me going is my work ethic. The only thing that pushes me from this day to this day is when I wake up and I think, dang, people love me because I work so hard. If I stop working hard, I let down all these people. That's literally how I think. There's definitely days where you're not going to feel like doing anything. We're human. That happens to everybody. When those days come, instead of just putting down all the work, work smarter instead of working harder. Let's say all you do is make beats all day, and there's a day where you don't feel like making beats. Maybe that day, you could just promote yourself, and that's it. You're still helping your career, but you're just working smarter. You're not straining yourself, just looking for sounds the whole time. Instead, you're getting your sounds out there so that you can get placements. That's what I'm talking about. You can never just take a day off. Every day, there has to be something done to further better your career, or else you're going to get left in the dust. At the end of your day, when all the work is done, and you're sitting there in your bed, you're scrolling on your phone, on Instagram or whatever, I just want you to think, what else could I have done to help my career today? What can I do right now before I go to sleep to help my career? What can I do in this exact moment to help myself? Literally, you tweeting a song could do way more for you than you just sitting there and trying to let everything come to you. Especially in this day and age with social media, as independent artists, we kind of don't need labels. If we just work really hard, you can build a fan base that promotes you more than a label could, or promotes you just as good as a label could. I know for sure the fan base that I want to build is a fan base that does my promoting for me. I've been able to acquire a fan base that's starting to do that. It's not necessarily every single one of my followers just repost me, but I don't have to just go out and send my post to 300 people to get traction. It's because over time, people have seen me work my ass off, and they're starting to believe in me. Even people that were hating on me in the first place, they started to believe in me because they saw me work my ass off. Your work is undefeated. No one can deny the work that you put in. So that was it for the video. I hope somebody got something valuable out of this. If you don't know who Zaytoven is, you're tripping. You need to do your research in the music industry. But look up your favorite producers and your favorite artists' interviews. They shed a lot of game in it that could help your career. Shit, possibly the information that they share could help boost your career to the next level. This was J-Rax, and I'm out of here. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Check the link in the description, all the links in the description, for articles on how to be a better artist, how to promote your music better, and articles on how to be a better person. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Stay up.